Okay, so now we will start our today's class. So I think some person also busy with some other tasks for their. Okay, so now we'll start our today's class. So basically, today is our fifth number of class. Okay, so let's go at class. Then we'll try to start. So can you see my screen now?
Now we are hearing you.
Okay. Okay, so now can you see my screen? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes, we are seeing this.
Okay. So, hi and welcome to the 7 days online training program on Google Earth Engine for beginners to advanced for remote sensing analysis. And I am course coordinator. And today is our fifth number of class. Okay, so basically today's class I will try to discuss about the air quality monitoring. So basically in this time we also try to discuss about the air quality parameters such as nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, methane. So all of the gases which are available for the Sentinel-5 satellite imagery. We also try to discuss about all of the images, all of the gases, and then try to make the how you can easily download the air quality parameters time series data in Excel file. We also try to discuss about this. Then how to convert the unit from mole to meter square or molecules to molecules per centimeter cubes. Then we also try to show you that how you can easily make the time series chart for any specific gases over a period of time. Okay, then how can easily export the map and use the ArcMap software? How can easily make the map? So in this time here you can see nitrogen dye and methane gas concentration map. You can see this type of map we can easily make from the Google Earth Engine platform. Okay, so in this time we are using the Google Earth Engine platform for processing our data such as Sentinel-5 satellite imagery we take. Then we can easily just make all of the process, all of the filtering, all of the things we can done in Google Earth Engine platform. And finally we can simply export this map as a TIFF format. Okay, after TIFF format this image, we can just make this map using the ArcMap software. For you can see the methane concentration map of Kuwait, as well as also nitrogen dioxide concentration map year of 2020 January in Bangladesh. Okay, so this type of map we can easily create and make the concentration map different type of gases. So also you can see this is the another map for the nitrogen dioxide levels rebound. Okay, so mainly we can make the monitor the nitrogen dioxide concentration of a different time period in Bangladesh. Before, this is our another types of research work for the before lockdown, post lockdown, and during lockdown. What is the concentration? We also try to find all of the things we can done in Google Earth Engine platform. Just simply download the TIFF image from the Google Earth Engine platform, then make the map in ArcMap software for our research paper or presentation work. So in this time here you can see when you want to work with the air quality monitoring. So first of all, we need to know what's the data set we are using. So in this time we are using the Sentinel-5 satellite imagery for monitoring the different types of gases, okay, in the atmosphere. So in this time you can see, so mainly Sentinel-5, this is a satellite, this is focused only for the air quality and composition of climate interaction with the main data product being we can use the ozone, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, formaldehyde, aerosol, carbon monoxide, methane. We can easily get all of the data set, globally data set we can easily get from the Sentinel-5 satellite imagery. And this is the link. We can easily go to this link and find out all of the Sentinel-5 satellite imagery, and we can get all of the gases data set in this from this link. Okay, so in this time I just simply try to show you that how you can easily import that any specific gases data set, then how you can easily filter, then how you can easily reduce, then how you can easily clip on your shapefile. Suppose you want to need the nitrogen dioxide concentration map for Bangladesh. So how you can easily clip with your shapefile and then display the air quality data in Google Earth Engine platform. Okay, so let's go. I also try to show you all of the process step by step. So in this time I simply open my code editor. So I simply open my code editor. So I simply open a new code editor. So in this time, I simply click. Okay, so there's some networking issue there, so I take showing the fail. Okay, so now it's okay. So in this time, I just simply click on the browse data catalog. After this, I just simply open on my own data set from the Sentinel-5. So I just simply click on here to browse data catalog and find out my own data set which I need. I need the Sentinel, so I simply click on the Sentinel. Okay, then which product I want to need for the Sentinel-5 satellite imagery. So you can see this is Sentinel-5 Tropomi. So I simply click on here this data set. So here I can get all of the data sets. So mainly they provide the data set for useful for accessing the air quality monitoring, and this data set is mainly we can easily get the concentration of the ozone, methane, formaldehyde, aerosol, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide. Okay, we can easily get, you can see all of the gas, all of the thing globally, all of the data set we can easily get from here. So in this time I want to use this data set and then try to make the map. So all of the gases, the same process. So in this time I try to show you this. Suppose I want to work with the nitrogen dioxide. I want to make the concentration map of nitrogen dioxide. But all of the data set, all of the gases, we can follow the same process when you want to make the map. So in this time, I simply click on this data set. I want to work with this data set. So now I can get all of the information about this data set, such as you can see dataset availability date. We can get the dataset availability date in here. Also, you can set the dataset provider, Copernicus. Okay, in this time also you can see the Earth Engine snippet. So this is the unique ID of this Earth Engine snippet. As well as also you can see all of the information about this dataset. You can get the dataset resolution. This is the 1113.2 meters. Also, you can get all of the information about this dataset, how they make that dataset. All of the information you can easily get from this description. Image properties, here I can get all of the image properties, term of uses, you can get all of the things. So in this time, I want to use this dataset. First of all, I need to import the dataset in my code editor. So first, I simply copy this Earth Engine snippet from here. I just simply copy this Earth Engine snippet from here. Just simply copy, and then I simply paste in my code editor. So I simply paste in here. Okay, in this time you can see this dataset is imported, and I want to give a variable name. You can use any name. So in this time I simply put the name such as I simply put, take a variable name and put the variable name is that suppose NO2. Okay, nitrogen dioxide. I simply put this NO2. So in this time this full dataset is stored in my variable name is the NO2. So in this time I just simply filter this image collection. So first of all, I need to choose my area. Suppose which area you want to show this concentration map of nitrogen dioxide. So we already covered all of the part, how you can easily import your shapefile, how you can easily import your boundary. We already covered. In this time I want to work with suppose US dataset. Mainly this dataset provide you all of the country boundary shapefile. I simply import this dataset. I simply click on the import. I simply click on here, then click to the import. Okay. I think some networking issue. Just a minute. Okay, or if you want, you can simply copy this collection snippet from here, and then you can simply paste here, and then put a variable name. Suppose I can simply put the variable name is the US. So now my all of the dataset for the country boundary shapefile is stored in here. So in this time I filtered this and get my own country boundary. So in this time I simply take a variable. Suppose I put the variable name is that suppose country. Okay, then I simply put here I call my dataset DOS, and I simply filter it. How I can filter? Earth Engine filter equal. What's equal what? In this time I simply put here the country name, and I simply put here the country name. Suppose I simply put the country name and put the country name, suppose Bangladesh. Okay, then I simply show the Bangladesh layer. I simply use here the map dot add layer, and then I simply call the country, and I also need to focus. I simply use here the map dot center object and put here the country. Suppose 10 and click to the run. So now you can see I can get the result. Okay, so check again. Okay, but I simply use here the map dot center object and call the object is the country, and use here the 10 and click to the run. But what it's showing the wrong. So
Rahman, do you need it to put it as geometry before or no, not necessary?
Okay, I check it just a minute. So I think the layer is open or not. Okay, so it's showing this layer. It center object. So I simply call the country. This is my object name and put the value suppose 10 and then click the run. Okay, so it's showing the geometry dot center argument max error invalid type expect the error margin actual default actual value. Okay, so what's the problem in this function now? Okay, so I check this function from here. Nothing, something changed or not. Map dot center object. Object is the country. I simply call the country and paste here. Zoom level is the 10. I simply put and I simply remove this. It's not needed for this time. Okay, so I also check the problem later. So okay, so I also find out the solution. So what is the problem this time in here? So in this time I can get this layer, map.add layer. It's okay. Then I simply put this country. Okay, then click the run. So now one layer will be added. So I can get my boundary shape file. So in this time for this boundary shape file, I want to get this data set for the nitrogen dioxide. Okay, so in this time I just need to filter this image collection. So in this time I just simply take a variable name. Suppose I put the variable name is the suppose image. So I simply put the variable name suppose image, and then I simply call this NO2. These data I simply call and paste here. And then I simply use a function. Suppose I simply use the filter bounds. Suppose this data set I want to read only for this country boundary. Okay, so I simply call this country because it stored the country boundary shapefile of Bangladesh. And then I simply use here another dot notation and put here the I need the data set for a specific time period. So in this time I simply put here the filter date function, and then I simply put here start date and end date. So I simply put the start date suppose 2021, suppose 0101 from I simply put the suppose data set is the 2021, suppose 01, suppose 30. So I take the data set only for the year of 2020 month of January. Okay, so I simply use the filter date function. In this time I also need to select the specific band. So I simply use the select function. This data set has some band. Also you can see from their band. Suppose in this time I want to work with the nitrogen number, column number, and density, and this unit is the mole per meter square. I want to work with this band. If you want, you can also work with the tropospheric nitrogen number, column number, density. So I want to work with this data set. So I simply click on here, just simply copy, and then simply paste in here. Okay. So in this time, I simply select my band. After this, in this time, I want to check how many images I want to get. So I simply use here the print function and then simply call this image. I simply copy and then I simply paste here and use here the size function and then click to the run. So now I can check it computing this value how many images I have to get for only for the 1 month year of 2020 January. Okay, so I can get the for Bangladesh 409 images for year of 2021 month of January. So in this time, this total number of images, I need to reduce this image collection. So in this time, I want to take only for the average concentration of nitrogen dioxide. I want to find out this. So in this time, I simply use here the reduce function. So for this, I simply take another variable. Suppose I simply take the variable in here. I simply take the variable name and put the variable name, suppose mean NO2. Okay, I simply take this mean NO2. Then I simply call the image. Okay, because this 409 image is stored in this variable image. Then I simply use here the reduce function. Reduce. Then how I can reduce? I want to reduce ee dot reducer dot mean. Okay, so I simply use here this, and I want to show the result of the average concentration map. I simply use the map dot add layer, and I simply call this mean NO2. Simply copy and paste here and click to the run. Okay, so what is the problem? So if I want to simply take this only for the mean function for calculating the average, how it will work. Okay, in this time I also need to clip, so I simply use the clip with my boundary. My boundary is the country. Okay, so I can take totally black color image, so I want to add the visualization. So I simply copy their ready-made visualization color code from here. So just I simply copy this visualization, just simply copy this code and then paste in my code editor. Paste here. I just simply copy this variable name from here and then paste after the object name. So my object is the mean NO2. After this, I simply paste here, then click to the run. So now we can get this colorful map. So I can check. So now I can see we can get the concentration map of nitrogen dioxide for month of January 2021. So now we can easily download this map as a TIFF format and work with the ArcMap software for make the map for our research paper or other things. Okay. So now we can get this map. Okay, so we can get the high concentration map in this region. Also, you can get this in this region. We can also get this high concentration of the nitrogen dioxide. Okay, so in this time, if you want, you can easily export this map, and using the same process, you will also make the map for the other types of data sets such as carbon monoxide, methane, sulfur dioxide, all of the gas. When you want to show the result or this type of TIFF image, you can easily download for the all of the other types of gases. So in this time, anyone any question in here, you can for the visualizing the map for a specific time period. Anyone any question? Okay, so in this time I try to show you this. Another thing is that suppose you want to export this map, the same process. Yeah.
If I want to read my shapefile, is it possible?
So any shapefile. So suppose you want to make the map for your own shapefile. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So suppose you want to make the map for your own shapefile. You can simply click on the asset, and you already need to import your all of the shapefile. Okay. So we already covered this part. How you can easily import the shapefile. So just a minute. I simply import my own shapefile. Okay, I think something networking issue. That's why in this time my asset is not loaded. But I also try to suppose I want to need this map concentration map for the Dhaka city. So I simply import the Dhaka city shapefile. So okay, just a minute. I simply check my networking, then try to continue. Just a minute. So some networking issue. That's why it takes some problem. Okay, now can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, so in this time you can get the map from the dataset from USDOS dataset. But in this time, if you want to work with any local region such as Dhaka city or other things or other any shapefile, so we already covered the part how you can easily import the shapefile in your asset. So in this time, I simply import my own shapefile and try to show you this part. Suppose in this time I want to need the result for this shapefile of suppose. So I simply use the shapefile for suppose. So I simply use this any shapefile. So I simply use the shapefile for Dhaka city. So I simply okay. So I simply use this Dhaka boundary. Or okay, Dhaka boundary simply put here. Okay. So in this time I can simply commenting this line. Okay, and I simply use here the simply copy the variable name country, and I use the same variable name. Okay, so in this time I not to change everywhere. So I can simply put the country. So now I can see my shapefile is stored at the country. So when I click to the run, in this time I can get this result only for the Dhaka boundary. Okay, you can say I can get the Dhaka boundary. This boundary also appeared in here. I can get the result only for the Dhaka boundary. Okay, so in this time you can see we can get the result for this all of the map. We can get the red pixel value. Okay, so basically it's showing the red pixel value because this concentration, when you want to show the Bangladesh whole country, we can get the red pixel value for the Dhaka city or Dhaka city region. Okay, so in this time I also need to make the special distribution such that I can easily understand where I not. So in this time we did not get this value. So in this time I need to also change the visualization in here. So it's showing the max value is look like this. So I also need to change the value. So in this time I simply click on the inspector tab and click on anywhere in this map and then check what is the value I can get. For there I can say I can get the value look like this. So in this time I simply copy the same value. Simply copy and then I simply paste here. Then I can get the sum for different region. So I simply click to the run. Then I check what is the result I can get. But when you export this map and open the ArcMap software, then you can easily get the high value and low value. Okay, and then you can simply go to the symbology and then you can easily add your own color for the high concentration or low concentration of the nitrogen dioxide. So you can easily add this. So it working. Okay, so now you can see also get the some variation in this place. So I also clicked on here, then check the whole. Okay, so I also simply copy. Supposing this I simply paste here the mean value, then check what the type of value we get. Okay, so now we also get the more visualization. We can also get black. Also, you can see black. Okay, so in this time we can get this type of visualization. In this time, you can see the red pixel value is identify the highest value of the concentration region, and the black, this is the lowest. Okay, also you can see the other yellow, green. So lot of things we can easily get. Okay, but when you want to export this map and use the symbology from the ArcMap software, then you can also get the proper visualization and proper coloring. Okay, so okay, any question in this statement here? Any question?
Yes, I mean, yeah, Rahman, about the range of mediums. I mean, how can we, for example, to know this range of values of min max? We need to know within this shape file, this area, min max value. It will be better maybe to attribute min max to the scale.
Yeah. So in this time, this mean and max value is not the any constant value. Okay. So in this time, we can check the from the inspector tab from the any particular location. Then I can simply use this. Okay. So it doesn't matter anything because it's showing only for the visualization in this map. But when you export this map in and open the map in ArcMap software, then we can get the raw image. Okay. So then this visualization is not work when you want to export this map. Okay, and open it ArcMap software.
Yeah.
So in this time, in this visualization look like this. Suppose if you want to also change it, suppose you can simply change the color, then you can get the another types of visualization. Suppose I want to simply remove this color, then click the run, then I can get the another types of visualization in here. Okay, so I can see. So black, green, yellow, and red. So here you can see black is the minimum. Then greater than black, we can get the green pixel value. Greater than green, we can get the yellow pixel value. Greater than yellow, we can get the red pixel value, red color pixel value. Okay, so you can easily arrange the color, arrange the min max for showing this value in here. But when you want to export this map and open the ArcMap software, then you can get the totally raw image, and then you can easily set the visualization from the minimum, maximum, all of the things. We can easily work with the ArcMap software and make the map in ArcMap software look like of this map. We can easily create. So you can see this type of map. So methane concentration of the Kuwait city, as well as also you can see the nitrogen dioxide concentration map year of 2020 January month. So this type of lesion we can easily add, and then this map is also look good. We can easily identify all of the things. Okay. Okay, so this is the process for visualizing the map. So I want to work with the big region. Okay, so no problem, you can also work with this. So the same, when you want to work with exporting this map, we are easily use the function export image to drive, then simply put all of the argument. We already talked different time for when you want to export the map. So basically when you want to work with the big region, then we also need to use here the max pixel function. Okay, so a lot of time we already when you want to work with exporting this map. So in this time I skip this part. Okay, so in this time I simply go to my slide. Okay, so suppose in this time you want to make the time series chart. Okay, so in this time I try to show you that how you can easily make the time series chart and show the when the between this time period, year of month of January, when the concentration is the high and when the concentration is the low, what is the time we can easily find out from this time series chart. Okay, so let's go. So for the time series chart, we are using the same function UI chart image.series. So basically when you want to work with any types of image collection, you can see image collection. When you want to make the chart from the image collection, you must be use here the UI chart image.series, this function. Okay, so image collection, when you want to make the any chart from the data set of the image collection, we need to use here the UI chart image.series. Okay, so in this time I simply use the function and try to make the time series chart. So I simply use here the UI dot chart dot image dot series, and I simply put all of the things one by one, then try to make this chart. So I simply make the dictionary in here. So I simply